With an instant domain expansion and huge damage, Extreme 2 Jogo is the gatekeeper for one of the best recollection bits in the game. If you want to get prepared for Yuta, or even just get through, this is the guide for you. Alright, so let's dive in on the team. We're running Yaga, Toge, what's his name? Yuki? Yuki, right? Yes, Yuki. Gojo and Nobara. The recollection bits here are probably the most important thing. The first time I did this, they weren't this leveled up, but effectively what you're looking for is two things on your supports. One is health regen, and two is damage reduction. So, let's look at Yaga. Let's see what he's got. We've got health regen for himself, plus some curse energy, that's perfect. And then 10% damage taken decrease to self for the whole battle. So that'll help keep him up through Jogo's domain. For Toge, there you go, look at that. A timed 30% damage reduction for everyone, which we're going to put on the moment we cast his skill, which is this one, Ward Off, which as you can see for me is only level 1. If you want to increase it, you absolutely can. But the damage reduction isn't massive, although the extra ult gauge for everyone is kind of awesome. Now, here for Yuki, we've got again health regen for all allies. You'll use that after the domain. And then, of course, some damage reduction for the first 4 turns. This is not super necessary, but if you decide you want to try for the nuke turn a little bit early, or for the turn where you're allowing Jogo to get his domain up a little bit early, that's okay. If you want to time that in with your damage reduction stacks, that works too. But you're going to have a bit more difficulty of nuking, that's all. For Gojo, we've got this one, Pride, which hopefully you've got at least 1 in by this point. So you're getting 60% curse technique increase for 2 turns. And when the turn starts, if Self's HP is no more than 50%, he gets a 30% damage dealt increase. Now, usually for Gojo this would be really bad, but because Jogo's domain applies the guaranteed hit effect, or negates the can't be hit effects, you actually have the chance of proccing that, and if you do, Gojo's damage goes up massively. It requires a little bit of luck, because the domain has to hit, and then the follow-up attacks also have to hit Gojo. But if that's the case, your turn will come around, you'll set this up, and then a massive nuke. The reason why we've got this on Nobara instead of Gojo is because you want her to come in and be able to nuke as soon as possible. Because what's going to happen, this is all the standard stuff and non-standard, what's going to happen is when the domain is cast, Toge is going to die, Nobara is going to come in, and then she's going to get the ult regen from this, or the ultimate gauge from that. And then by the time the game's over, or by the time our boy is starting to move, her ult will be up fast enough that you can either get close to or the actual finish, or the break, or something along those lines. So that's going to be your plan of attack. The timing of these is obviously both this one, and this one is going to be used the turn immediately after Jogo's domain goes up, and this one is going to be used the turn his domain goes up. So once you stop using Ward Off with Toge, sorry, not Ward Off, Don't Move with Toge, that's when you're going to do it. So the turn you use Ward Off, and you'll see this, is the turn we use this recollection bit. We hold this recollection bit for the ultimate, and then we obviously have to hold this one for the ultimate. So let's dive in to the actual guide itself, the actual gameplay, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so here we are. We're going to start off very simply, just with buffing and stunning Jogo the entire time with Inumaki. So you really just want to shout at him 4 times. Don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move. Then you throw out all your defense buffs while you do everything you can to survive the domain. What I've noticed in doing this a few times is that Jogo has he's either got resistance or Toge has diminishing returns for his don't move stun. What I mean by that is after the third turn of doing it, it seems like the fourth has a reduced chance, and then the fifth attempt is basically never going to land. But once you've landed 4, you're good to go. It does give you a chance to get all of this set up. We get it going. So, ward off for everyone. We use the recollection bit for Toge as well. And then we use Yuki's own defense buff on himself so everyone survives. Now recollection bits to to get the health restore. Yuki's ult, Gojo's ult on the same turn. Yuki gives a massive damage bonus on his ult. Nobara's ult is very, very close as well, so we can time that with Yaga's. And what you'll see here is that we end up doing a lot of damage. So it's not quite enough to get the break, but that's okay. Because even with this co-op, he'll still be around, but we've got enough HP now, due to all the regen, to survive Jogo's hits. And then we just do one more turn of buffing. We get Nobara going, we get the Curse Energy regen going, we get another hit with Gojo. Everything is broken, a bit of extra damage. And then all we need to do, very, very simple, just ult and start pushing a little bit of damage. This gets all those resistances down, so Nobara can really kick in with the non-standard. And from here, it's pretty much just academic, basic attacks, and specials until you've got the W. So it all works out very, very nicely. Because of Yuki, we've still got more than enough curse energy to go around, And so one more buff, we do this, Jogo will be back, but he can't take one more. So there we go. Everything's all tidied up. And this is a much more defensive way of doing it. Some people might have a more offensive way, but I found this to be very consistent. See you in the next one all. Peace out.